All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, those of you that joined me on Zoom live today, I apologize. Internet went out about 45 minutes into the presentation. So the beauty of technology when it doesn't work, right? But beautiful thing is if you weren't able to join me live or you did, this recording is for you. So we're gonna spend the next hour talking about AI and how it can benefit you as an agent. I will tell you that when AI kind of became the buzzword in real estate, I honestly was rolling my eyes, going, "Here we go, more technology, more." Things I have to learn. I've been a real estate agent for 20 years, and sometimes I feel like we're in more of the video and technology business than we are in the housing and humans business, right? So um, that was my limiting belief because the more and more I dig into AI, it's making my life easier. It's giving me creative ideas. It is easier than I thought. So it's definitely not something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace because it's going to help you make more money. It's going to help you service your clients at a higher level. Those of you that may or may not know me, I'm just going to give you my quick 30-second elevator speech. My name is Drew DeMaree. Actually, I just got married, so I'm Drew Berrigan now. I'm a father of a 20-year-old daughter, entrepreneur in multiple businesses, realtor for 20 years in October 21. And then I'm a coach. I'm going into my 10th year. We're an independent coaching company called Freedom. We do trainings, we do coaching, we do events, we do all kinds of fun stuff. But one thing is, we're not connected to a brokerage. So we see all different brokerages, all different real estate sizes, solo agents, teams, mega teams, things like that. So if you're in the market to look at a coach, love the opportunity to chat with you. If you think there's opportunity for a training, whether it's in person or virtual, we'd love to talk to you. We're in multiple, I coach agents in multiple states. Also, I coach in Canada. So have a lot of fun, have a passion for it, love what I do, love the people that I coach. Okay. So let's just get down to it. AI is not Google, right? Google is a product where you ask a question, it gives you a list of websites or it gives you an answer. AI is a virtual assistant. So I give the example of cable versus streaming service, right? If you're old school, remember there's a cable box, there was channels, right? And then now the TVs come with streaming services. You can buy Hulu for 20 bucks and Netflix for 20 bucks and you can bundle it and things like that. The AI tools have a very similar vibe and energy to it, meaning that you can buy these apps or plugins for 20, 40, $100 per app. So what I would tell you is before you're buying all these AI apps, make sure you're reading the descriptions, make sure you're going to use them because I don't want you to be spending money that you don't need to be spending. Some of the apps do similar things, right? So video editing software and AI tool might have a similar overlap and you're paying for two of them. So don't do that because I've done that and it's not cool when I'm spending money on the same product. So there are some typical things that when I'm in a room with realtors where AI becomes a little bit of a weird thing, it feels like kind of taking over the world, right? So the first thing is just the fear of the overwhelm of technology. I alluded to that at the intro. I think we're kind of over it. Like all the websites, all the apps we have to use in our industry, sometimes we're just kind of like, oh, here's another thing we have to do in our day. I will tell you, it's not overwhelming. It's fun. You play in the sandbox, in the AI sandbox. It invigorates you because it gives you new ideas. It speeds up processes. It clarifies things a lot faster. But we'll kind of get into that. Second thing I would say is often agents think that AI prompts and things don't aren't personal enough. We'll talk about that in a second, but it's like a virtual assistant. So the more you tell your assistant, the better clarity the assistant is, right? If you just give the assistant one or two words to work with, God only knows what you're going to end with the output, right? So we're going to talk about how you make it more personalized through prompting, meaning like the language of the request. Again, it's not like Google, so it's not like you're going to ask it, what's the best restaurant in my city. No, it's not going to do that. There's more layers to it. Lack of workflow is another one. They're like, I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm already implementing enough. I don't want another shiny object. I will tell you, it will become part of your everyday use because it's not a cool thing. It's not something you're going to forget about. It's going to be like, wow, let me pop it into AI and see if I can get some better results. It does speed up your time. Emails, text messages, database management systems, fun stuff. You know, you can do everything from fitness to nutrition, all kinds of stuff. Okay. Best way I describe the concept of agents always saying, oh my gosh, it's going to replace us. You and I know that real estate is an emotional business. If we were magically to become more of a logical business where 1 + 1 = 2, I could see AI kind of replacing us. But you and I know the drama of a divorced couple or the drama that the first time buyer gives us when we're going through the process, right? So it's going to help us be more efficient, more effective, but it really is an assistant. It gives you an example of like a crop. Yes, we used to pick them all by hand, but now with some use of technology and some machinery, we now have a machine that can go a little bit faster, pick crops a little bit more effectively, right? So not replacing you, it's probably enhancing you, and I want you to lean into it. Okay. So we're going to lead our path to, are you being bossy enough, right? So the one thing I hear all the time is my AI tools are not giving me good responses, or they're not giving me what I want. And we know that your output or the conversation you're having with AI is really going to be a matter of the quality you're going to get. When I was talking about Google search, it's not the same as AI. If you and I put the same Google search in, restaurants in X city, we're going to get the same results. You and I are going to be side by side, Google search. That search is going to be exactly the same as mine on my laptop, you're on your laptop. If I did that same experiment with you with AI, if I asked the prompt to do the same thing in AI, same words, same ask, it's going to give you a different answer than me because it's curated to you. It's going to know your personality. It's going to know your language. I'll tell you, it's creepy, right? I put stuff in there now and it knows my dog, my husband, my kid. It knows my slang. It knows my humor. It knows me. And so if you're prompting the same information in AI, you have a different life, right? You have a different tone, you have a different language, you have a different approach to your business than I do. And so the cool thing about AI is that it will be able to do so, but you've got to boss it around. You've got to tell it what it needs to know for it to give you better output. And so first thing we're going to work on is your prompting skills. So one thing I would say is that this is a screen that I would want you to print out and use, right? It is like a formula, or it's like the layers of a song, right? There is all these ingredients have to be put in the prompt. You don't have to do this forever, but if you're struggling with your AI to really be you and to give you a good quality product that you're happy with, it's because it's still trying to figure out who you are, right? So I'm going to go through this with you. It's 5 different elements. Persona is, what is the role? So in this example, the persona is, I'm a top producing real estate agent in Northern Virginia. Objective, what do you want it to do? In most cases, a lot of agents are saying, hey, I want to write a listing description. Okay, that's the objective. Audience, very important, right? The listing example, there's obviously a different description for an investment property, a first-time home buyer property, a luxury property versus an equestrian farm, right? So the audience is important. Context is, where are you going to put this information? Are you going to post it on social media? Are you going to post it in MLS? Are you going to post it on a blog? Like, what are you going to do with it, right? Because it needs to know the boundaries as well. Boundaries is how many words, right? So I put under 200 words, include 3 emotional trigger phrases, right? So I want it to create context that I could use immediately. If I get the output and I still don't like the way that, let's say in this example, it wrote the listing description, I'm just going to say, hey, remove this, add screened in porch, add, 5 acres, right? So it's going to do its best to kind of put all of these ingredients or these puzzle pieces together, but it doesn't always get all the puzzle pieces right. And the more and more you keep asking it, again, it's like an assistant, go in deeper, ask it a question, gives you the wrong answer, ask it, like, take parts and pieces of it out. it's going to get better and better over time. It's going to almost produce a perfect product for you. But it's like a virtual assistant. You have to give it time and you have to work with it. Okay. So we're going to work on this first one primarily with ChatGPT. That's the most common one. This is tools and strategies inside your database. These are screenshots of prompts. And I will also create and give you a ChatGPT prompt Word document. So you can copy and paste it in. We'll do it together. But ChatGPT is the most common one. I will say it's the biggest beast in the room. I don't have a crystal ball of what I predict AI will be, but I definitely think it will be it'll be the Google of the AI um, industry. I always joke, I thought it was funny, it's generative pre-trained transformer. I'm a 80s, 90s kid, so I think of Transformer, and I think that's funny. But it's not. It generates human-like responses and or questions. So it's going to talk to you. Creepy, yes. Weird, yes. Fun, yes. Um, Money generating, yes. So just like I alluded to before, in a streaming service, ChatGPT has plugins. And so it's important that you kind of find the plugins you want. There's plugins for fitness, nutrition, real estate, video, parks and recreation, all kinds of that. So I'm going to show you real quick on my screen where that is. So this is ChatGPT. So chatgpt.com on your laptop, ChatGPT app on your phone. I personally think that the ChatGPT does better on your laptop than the iPhone or the app. I sometimes get prompts put in there on the app version, and I don't get the great robust results. So I would personally just say 89% is going to be better on your laptop. Also, there's a difference between the free version and the paid version. The ChatGPT 3 is free. ChatGPT 4 is paid. It's $20 a month. I used the free one for a while. I will tell you, it's like paying the $20 a month, changing from 3 to 4 is like, I don't know, driving a go-kart to a Ferrari. Like it goes faster, it gives you more ideas, it gives you thorough data. I just think it's a much more robust product. Obviously, that's the goal. The free one also only limits the amount of prompts that you can ask it in a day. So it'll say, okay, you've reached your limit. It's trying to get you to buy the paid one. It's a business, right? So let me just give you a test drive. So when we talk about plugins, this is on the left-hand side. This is GPTs. Again, this is similar to like streaming services. So let's say you want to know something. I have a plugin connected to fitness. I pop it in. I'm going to look at the app. I'm going to look at the cost. I'm going to see if this is a thing I want to do. I'm going to hit the dots on the top right, and I'm going to add it to my sidebar, which is over here. This is like just like if you were having a website and you're bookmarking something. Realtors, I would highly recommend you have the plugin Canva added because when you're doing prompts, it will, because it knows that you already have Canva in there, it'll connect with Canva. So once you do the plugin, I'll ask you for your username and password for Canva. It'll like link it together. And the beautiful thing is when you're doing chats or prompts, it'll ask you, would you like me to create the template in Canva? And it's not perfect, but it definitely gives you a good template. It also has the history. So anything that I asked it to do over the course of the months previous, it has that there. Um, I think sometimes in real estate, it's rinse and repeat. So maybe we asked it to generate an email to a seller. And then 3 weeks later, we have a different seller. We need to do a similar email. So you can do your search your chats and it will go and it will find one from a month ago or 3 months ago. And then you can kind of pick up where you left off and you can just keep customizing it as you go. Okay. So that gives you a test run on plugins as well. All right. And like I said, it's $20 is the paid version. I definitely think it's much faster, much more advanced. It just gives you a lot more options. And if you're gonna play in this, if you hate it after 1 month, you can get rid of it. But I think it's something that honestly it might be something worth the investment. All right, so now we're going to go through just some specific prompts that I've used through coaching individuals, solo agents, and teams. These are things that we're seeing that have been really beneficial to the business, making them money. So the first one is what we call an annual equity report. If you ever have coached with me before, you know I love a Popeye. I love client events. I love open houses. But what I think sometimes we struggle with is what I call the pro zone versus the friend zone. Sometimes when we do a client event, I think past clients think we're friends. We might be friendly, but we are professionals. We are experts at our craft, right? And one of the things we're experts at is pricing and market data, right? So one of the first things that I would coach anyone to do, regardless of the size or the experience level, is you need to send once a year at least a little update to every past client on what their current value is of the home, CMA, right? And it can be time consuming, but in the past, that's what we had to do. Now we have AI. So this is an example where we asked AI to generate a seller equity report. We plugged in the address, and this is the output. It pulled the tax records. It gave an example of what we call equity, right? Because not everyone knows that language. It gave an example or sample of mortgage balance. So it kind of did that. It also did comparables, 3 comparables in the neighborhood. It gave links to where that resource was. Is it perfect? No. Is Zestimate perfect? No. But this is a conversation starter. It's breadcrumbs. And then at the end, it says if you want a more specific price, because you probably did upgrades or added square footage, I'd love to chat with you about that, right? So I have one specific client. She had almost 500 past clients. She'd been in business 15 years. She's like, this is going to take me forever. It didn't, right? So she did 10 or 15 a day. She sent almost 500 emails out. She got 49 responses of like, thanks for the information. We're not moving, but I can't believe our house is worth that much now. Thank you so much. She had 8 people that said, hey, I think I'm thinking about selling. Could we schedule an appointment to get more specific on my price with the new updates that I've done in my house? Out of the 8 appointments, 4 of them listed immediately, and 4 are nurtures probably heading into the fall market, right? So this one AI tool generated 8 referrals, right? Why not? So something important. This is one for checklists. So I'm a checklist person, but I like it customized. So again, the prompt is going to be, I need a real estate transaction checklist for buyers and sellers. I would put specific things like in the prompt about the city or state or county that you live in. It created this one. Then it prompted me and said, hey, would you like it to be an editable Canva template? You can see it says ChaptGPT plugin.canva.com. It knows that I have a plugin, and so then it created this in Canva, and then I can now take it and give it a facelift, change the colors, modify the wording, add a logo. I've seen people also do this, ask the same similar prompt, but to create checklists for buyers and sellers for them. So when they're showing houses or when they're prepping their house for a listing for sale, they have a checklist. So it gets you in the right direction, 90 to 95%. And then the cool thing is that you look like the rock star. Um, CRM automation. So I work a lot with agents trying to clean up their automation systems and their CRM. Most CRMs have template emails in there already built in. Most of the time, none of us like it. It's not customized. It's not specific for our states or regulations. So then we prompt AI to do that. So I specifically tell it what CRM I'm using. In this example, it was Follow Up Boss. We're creating an email sequence. I did this specifically with a real estate team in the Richmond market. We had it do next step emails. So it's like as they're going through the transactions, it's kind of a reminder of the next step in the process. We did this because we know we talk to buyers at buyer consultations. We talk to them all the time through text and through phone, and they still don't listen, right? And so this is just another layer of competency, another layer of professionalism that you are sending them an email with a checklist of next steps. I think it's amazing. It's customized. We did 18 different next step emails for this particular team. And we used ChaptGPT to do it. We used it for lead conversion, and then we also use it for these next step emails, which is transaction emails. We also had it prompted to create the same version in a text message version, so it could be sent through the follow-up boss system to a text, simpler, shrunk down version, and then the more expansive version, an email sequence. Uh, Looks like a pro. You look like you know what you're doing. You look like you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the curve. You know where the puck is going. You're not chasing the puck, right? Had another client had 2,000 leads in their database, need their cold leads, and so we set AI to work, and we asked it to create a series of a 5-part email campaign. So set those in motion, added those inside her CRM. Out of the 2,000, she's got 10 people that kind of came to the surface, and she's nurturing them, all because we connected with a re-engagement email campaign. And I'm saying all this, I'm going to give you a prompt Word document. I think I said that already. So you can copy and paste and play with it, get similar. Again, your prompts are going to be the same, but they're going to give slightly different results because we're different people. Our AI, our assistant is a different person virtually. Home anniversary, I think everyone should do it. I think we may or may not be doing it frequently enough. I think the 1 year home anniversary, we do a decent job and then we forget. We know 7 to 10 years later, they're going to sell and they don't even know our name. So we asked this to create a template for our database. It did an email body template. It also asked us, would we like to create a Canva image? And we did. And so it created that. We embed that image in the CRM. We added it to the body of the email. And once a year, they're going to get a hey, happy home anniversary. And again, prompted all because of AI. Market trends. Market's a little crazy, right? Different markets are getting different results. And so sometimes we don't know what to say when we're at the bar or restaurant. When somebody says, hey, how's the market? We're like, it's good, right? So AI gives us some talking points or scripts that we can use. Also, we can use it for social media. You can use it for blogs, newsletters, things like that. So again, if you look at the prompt, you're gonna say, you're a market analyst. This is my county. This is the information I want you to pull from. I want you to summarize it in a plain language, and I want you to give some predictions to the next quarter. So the good thing is what it does is it makes you the expert, but it gives you the data at your fingertips, okay? This one was fun. So I had a client that had a listing appointment, and she was a little nervous because she felt that it was outside of her niche markets, right? So she was going on an equestrian property listing appointment. She knew she was competing against 2 competing agents that had luxury or equestrian experience. So we asked the AI to help us. So we said, hey, we're going on a listing appointment. This is the property. It's a niche market. And we want you to create this in a Canva 8.5 by 11 format that we can edit. So beautiful thing. It popped out target market, visual marketing, gave it online options for marketing. It also created this beautiful presentation. She went in there. It was probably 80, 90% the way she wanted it. So then she popped it in. It popped into Canva and she gave it a facelift. She went on the listing appointment, did a regular listing appointment, and then also had this spiral bound as an additional marketing tool. Got the listing. It's now under contract. Closes actually in a couple weeks. $1 million equestrian farm. Built her confidence. Showed she was the expert. Gave her ideas. So I say all this because if you have a niche market, if you're going after a luxury, if you're new construction, if you're equestrian, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Have AI help you. If you are the expert, still pop it in there. Maybe there's a website that you could be using that you're not using. Maybe you want to stand out or elevate your presentation to the next level. So have AI help you with niche marketing is all I'm saying. I think it's probably pretty common knowledge. People do pop buys, which are, these things that we drop off, but we're going brain dead trying to figure out what's the next thing and what it's going to look like. Well, let's ask AI. So top producing agent, what are the pop buys? It gave 4 ideas and then said, okay, yeah, let's choose number 4. And then it said, hey, They prompted and said, hey, would you like to create a Canva pop-by tag? And I'm like, heck yes, right? Gave me the pop-by tag, gave it a little bit more of a facelift in Canva specifically, and you can see on the screen what it looked like. So again, it gives you some creativity. It sometimes gives you ideas that you wouldn't think of. Monthly newsletter. I know a lot of people. First of all, I think every agent needs to send out one newsletter at least a month. It's free. People do open it. 45-50% open rates are what I'm seeing. People, I mean, I know we get a lot of emails, but if it has value, if it's sticky, meaning there's good content in there, they're going to open it. So we prompted it and said, hey, we want a newsletter. The 4 things we want to focus on are local stats, local events, spotlight a vendor, and a real estate promotion. It created it. And then, of course, I'm going to have to go in there because just like an assistant, it doesn't know all the information. So I have to take this and then update with pricing and days on market, pull it from my MLS. But it gives me a great skeleton or shell to work from, 80%. And then I can make it look beautiful, pop in my CRM, and out it goes. It even created a little newsletter header for me. I would say the number one thing most agents use is MLS description prompts. I will tell you, I was in a training 2 weeks ago, and the agent said that she types the description and then copies and pastes it into the AI prompt, and then it cleans it up for her, and she likes that. And I said, well, I challenge you. I said, I think AI can do it better. I said, I do want you to prompt it, give a little bit of the address, a little bit of description, but nothing to that level. And let's see what it produces. Funny enough, that same day after that training, she texted me and did that. She said, oh my gosh, you're right. This AI prompt was so much better than my version, right? So give it a chance. It's not perfect, but it'll give you a nice prompt, a nice end result. And if it missed the plank floors or it missed it missed the stainless steel appliances, you can tell it, hey, you forgot this, add that, and it'll work it into the flow of the conversation. And of course, make sure you know the end, right? The context. Make sure if it's 200, 500 word minimum, maximum, depending on where you want to put it, all right? MLS descriptions have limitations on the space that you're allowed to use. Blog posts, I highly recommend if you have a website, you need to add a blog. Google likes to see that fresh new content on your website. If not, your website's kind of like wallpaper. People just blends in and they don't see it. Google does not like that it's a static product or static image. So do add a blog to your website. I used to do my blogs. It would take me 2 hours. Now it takes me 10 minutes. I kind of prompt it and I ask it, the topic that I want to go after. It does a great job, and I'm ready to pop it into my website and move on with my life. And even ask the prompt, would you like to promote it through social media? And I'll create a graphic for you. You see in the bottom right hand corner, it created one. I don't look like that lady. So that was funny. So then I can go in there and edit that according to what I need. But great for blogs, newsletters, things like that. Okay. If you don't know how to use or don't know what to use AI for, ask it. Ask it for what are the most common real estate agent prompts. It'll give you a wonderful list of creative ideas that you'll use. This is what I'm going to send you in the email with the recording and the presentation. This is just the prompts themselves. I have 14 of them, and so this is an example of one. Let me copy and paste this. I'm going to copy this prompt, open up my ChaptGPT. I'm going to paste it in, and it's going to give me response. And because I'm using the paid version, it's much faster. It's going to work my way through. It's going to all kinds of things, right? You can use it to really do all kinds of stuff. So if you see, it's got everything from marketing flyers to articles for a blog. So every single one of these screenshots that I gave you today, I put it in that chat prompt document. So hopefully that will encourage you to just copy and paste it into AI and have fun, play with it, see how it works. All right, so now we're getting to a couple of the other parts outside of ChatGPT. Video has become a part of our life, right? I always say we're like weatherman now. We constantly have to be on video, whether it's promoting a property or promoting ourselves or tips and tricks, things like that. One AI tool I absolutely love and I pay for, it's an app on my phone. It's called BigVu. It's a teleprompter. It does a great job, but it does so much more than just a teleprompter. So, first thing, it helps you create scripts and dialogue, gives you some ideas of some fresh content. So, I click on the scripts tips. I use the tap to start. I say kind of what's the vibe or what I think I want to talk about. It breaks it into 4 or 5 different ideas. I choose the idea that I want, and then it has the script. If I don't like the script, I can edit the script. But it's great for me that I'm brain dead. I'm not creative. I can't think of what I want to say, what I want to do. BigVu gives me some ideas, and then it even gives me a script. Once you edit the script, you hit shoot, and literally it turns back into like the regular camera that we're all used to on video, right? What it does is overlay the script, and it kind of scrolls through as you're talking, and you get it finished up. Once you're done, it has some editing software like it can add subtitles. It also can do some fun stuff like eye contact fixing. So if maybe you got distracted by something and looked left or looked right, it through AI generation, it puts your eyes back centered in the frame of the video, and then you can post it. So super easy. I will tell you, it's probably worth every penny. It's like $12 a month. Okay. This is a great editing tool for videos when you're doing stuff that's on the fly, like open house videos or like spontaneous walkthrough videos. I know most of us all use professional photographers and videographers. So this is just if you're using video and you want to cut something out. So maybe you're doing a walkthrough video or an open house video and there's a car in the way and you don't like that. Or maybe there's some trash cans that you didn't notice, right? So this is kind of the screenshot image, but this is the video. And then I highlight the areas I want to get rid of. And then inside the video, AI generates the image background to kind of fill in the blank and cut those images or people out. So great product. I think the basic one would work. You use the $12 one if you're going to do a lot of videos. This probably is my most favorite AI tool out there right now. It's called Descript. It's for video as well. So I am notoriously, I shoot a video and I say the wrong word. So if I'm talking about something on a video, I'll say seller, and then I'm like, oh man, I meant to say buyer. And I just shot this 2-minute video. So instead of redoing the video and correcting the words that I said incorrectly, or maybe it's the address of the property, 123 Smith Street, when it's 1123 Smith Street. You'll pop it into script. It'll transcribe all of the words that you said on the video and put it almost looks like a Word document. And then you can backspace and actually change the word. So if I said seller and I meant buyer, I backspace the word seller and type the word buyer. It will all AI generate my lips. It'll AI generate my tone of voice. And when you output the video, it now will be a natural video that says buyers. I've also had clients use this for something as fun and simple as birthday videos. So they want to be intentional about sending text messages or direct messages with a video to their past clients. So the video may say, hey, happy birthday, Drew. Hope you're having an amazing day. I just wanted to make you smile and I hope everything is well. Cheers and here's to another good year, right? So I'm saying all that. I use the word Drew. Now I'm going to create a second one for Sarah, right? So I'm going to backspace and take the word Drew out. I'm going to add the word Sarah, and then the AI generate is going to say verbally and visually, it's going to say Sarah. So this is a way to create one video and send it to 20, 40, 50 people, right? So you could create a video at the beginning of the month, and throughout the month, you could just save it on your phone, use the script and cut and paste the different name, and you'll be a rock star. It looks very personal, looks like you're very intentional, and you didn't have to do all the videos. Your hair and makeup and all the stuff that we all worry about in video is done one time, and you don't have to feel stressed about recreating videos. $12. Nothing crazy. Okay. Opus Clip is great if there are agents out there that create video content in different platforms. So one of the tricky things is that we create this beautiful 2, 3 minute property video, and then you got to plug it into all these other social media products, right? Well, every single daggone one of them has a different format and different timing, right? One's longer, one's shorter, one's wider, one's 30 seconds, one's 1 minute. Now you got this 3 minute video or 5 minute video, and you got to spend time editing and cutting all this stuff, right? Like you're a video editor. You don't do that anymore, right? So Opus Clip, put the big video in, it cuts it down. It AI generates the best clips. So if you have a 3 to 5 minute video, you want to throw it on TikTok, it's a 30 second, it's going to do one based on where it thinks it's the best soundbite. It's the most like eye catching or verbally enticing, and then it gives you options. You choose them, and then you post. So super easy. Again, $15 a month. I don't think it's anything that if you use video, use it. If you don't use video, don't use this AI tool. Right? That's what I said. It's kind of like streaming services. You got to be careful on what you pick. All right, marketing and branding, probably the most common one in AI world that we use is Canva. They came out just about 60 days ago with their Magic Studio, which is their AI product. So just wanted to highlight a few of them. Changing imagery. So if you have a shirt or a dress or a sweater, you want to change something out, it's pretty easy. You just highlight the image, the area you want to change. So the image on the bottom is my red shirt. That's a professional photo. I highlighted it. I then had the prompt and said, change it to a blue shirt, blue jacket. It changed it, right? So a joke, it's an opportunity to kind of change up your wardrobe. Um, One that I think is pretty awesome in the real estate space is the Magic Eraser. I know most of us get professional photos, but we get those properties where they're tenant occupied, so we can't tell the tenant to clean everything up. We may not, or we may not hire a professional photographer for whatever reason, and there's just some things we don't like about the images that we took. I'm a, like an example. I'm a weirdo, crazy about like I don't like magnets on the refrigerator when I'm doing photography. So if you look at the original image, it's there, and then I pop it into the Magic Eraser and highlight that area, and now the beauty of AI, the refrigerator now has no magnets, right? So this is a great way for you to do minor edits, remove a car, remove things on the countertop, things like that, if you aren't using a professional photographer. And there's just times where we need to snap a couple pictures and throw it on social media, which is fine. And now you can do it in a way without, having the whole place perfectly clean. And I'm sure you've heard of this, but I want to remind everybody this is AI generated as well. Your background remover in Canva, original image. The cool thing is then it finds the cutout and then you can pop it into your marketing. Much more elevated marketing, professional graphics. Again, AI generated stuff seems so easy now, but this used to be hours of just like cutting this stuff out. Um, Another tool, it's not video related, it's more connected to meetings. I use Otter, Otter AI. I actually plug it into my Zoom session. So if I have a Zoom appointment, it will give me a summary of action items. And so it's listening to the conversation, but it's then summarizing it in an email, and it can then be great for actionable items, accountability. What I love about it is agents that I coach now are starting to use this for their buyer and seller consultation. So they're having it on their phone, and they're just telling the seller and the buyer, I'm just going to record this because my Otter AI thing creates actionable items. So you and I know we do the listing in CMA, and then we talk about the things they need to do in the house, right? Replace the carpet, take the wallpaper down, paint this, fix this. So how great is it as you're having these meetings, and yes, you're taking notes, and yes, the seller is taking notes, but the good thing is it captures everything. Sometimes we are juggling, having conversations and writing things down and walking through the property. This really makes you look professional. Can you imagine at 6 p.m. the appointment is over, you get this action item list over to them immediately, you copy and paste it into an email or a text, and you say, per our discussion, here's your to-do list, your punch list. Really puts things in motion and keeps things people motivated. Again, there's the free version. I use the pro, $8 a month. It's worth every penny to keep me organized, keep me accountable, and it's a great tool for just doing any kind of consulting work, buyers, sellers, or coaching. And then social media. So I this is not an AI tool, but it's connected to one that I think that you should definitely use. You need a scheduling software. Calendly and You Can Book Me are free. You can block appointments based on your preference, right? Mondays and Fridays only 4 hours. So people would click on this. They would either have an in-person meeting, a Zoom meeting, or a FaceTime meeting, whatever you tell it to do, and it then pops into both your calendars. The reason why I say this is a great tool is because I kept connected to ManyChat. So ManyChat is a AI tool for social media. So it is what we call, it uses trigger words. So the first explanation of what a trigger word is if you think about like an email template, maybe in your CRM, you'll see oftentimes you can add the person's first name and then the subject lines, right? So it'll say, John, join us for a training. And then the other prompt would, obviously the next person receiving the email would be like, Drew, join us for a training, right? So that trigger prompt or that trigger word is replaced every time it's a different person, whether it's going to a text or an email, similar to ManyChat. So ManyChat is specifically for Facebook or Instagram posts, and the goal of it is trying to send them information through direct message. So, an example, you would maybe create a video that says, hey, I'd love to offer a coaching session for free. Comment free in the comments, and I'll send you a booking link. What ManyChat does is it creates that prompt. So I grab the Facebook video or it links to your Facebook and Instagram. Grab the post, you create the prompt. So when I said type the word free in the comment section, that was the prompt, right? That's the keyword. Then I AI generate a direct message to them that says, hey, let's set up a free discovery call about coaching. If they say no, or if they do any other questions or they do anything, it does its best to AI chat with them. And then it kind of, hopefully they lead to an appointment or whatnot. The reason why this is important is so many times we spend effort and energy on creating these posts, we get comments, and we don't go back and direct message them. We don't go back and thank them for their comments, right? So it's interesting. Social media is social, and yet sometimes we don't socialize with the commenters of the post. So this helps us stay top of mind. This helps us when we're busy. Maybe we did this post and then we're off to an appointment. It allows us to hopefully help this assistant set appointments for us. And again, it's like 15 bucks a month if you use the pro version for that. Okay. So final thoughts. AI is not perfect. It does make mistakes. You got to proofread everything, right? It's not always going to be perfect. And the number one reason this is your brand, this is your reputation. It is your assistant, right? So it doesn't replace you, right? So it's going to get you 85 to 90% there, but it's not going to know all the knowledge that you know in real estate. Okay. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to hop on one of our other free trainings, we do a free training every single month. August, we're going to talk about leverage. So we're going to talk about technology. We're going to talk about systems. And if you want to eventually hire an assistant, virtual or in person, we're going to talk about some of that in August. We're going to talk about what we call Google Everything in September on the 18th. So if you want to sign up for those, please scan the QR code. We have a landing page that I've created so you can RSVP. This is also the spot where you can get past recorded trainings. So I started this in February, so we have 5 or 6 already online. So if you want to listen to any of those free trainings, go for it. That's why they're there. If you are kind of feeling you need to take your business to the next level, we offer one-on-one coaching, and they start at $295. We have a flex program where more time, or if you want to add an assistant, we can adjust the pricing a little bit there, or based on my contract terms, things like that. So I feel like we're pretty affordable. We don't have crazy terms like a 1-year contract. It's 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And again, it gets cheaper as you honor those commitments. So scan that. That will go to my You Can Book Me, which is that free scheduling software. And if you find the day and time that works for you, it'll shoot you and me an email. calendar invite and a Zoom link, and I'll be ready to chat and see if we're a good fit. I don't take every coaching client that does a consultation. Number one, if you don't need a coach, I don't feel like it's a good fit, then let's not do it. If financially you're not in the place to do it, but you just want to get information, I get that as well. I want to respect your time, your money, and your growth. Okay. And final is the last QR code of this. We love Google reviews. We have over 300 Google reviews. We're trying to grow that every single day. We have so many clients that find us on the internet. And so if you have learned anything, if you've enjoyed this, I'd love for you to pull out your phone, scan this QR code, and just give us a sentence or two about something that you may have learned. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope I see you next month at our leverage training, and then the Google one is in September. I apologize for those that were joining me live and we cut out like 45 minutes in. Love the internet and technology, but here's the recording I promised, as well as the presentation and the ChatGPT prompt Word document. So hope that's helpful. If there's anything I can do, I'm only a phone call, a Zoom, an email, a text away. So don't be a stranger. I'm here to help in any way I can. All right. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.